Everyone, Richard Robbins here. Well, I'm back for your monthly market update. We're going to talk about numbers from the Toronto Real Estate Board. However, I'm going to do something much different this time. What I want to do is I want to go back and look at the number of sales for each year for the last 5 years, and then I'm going to go back and look at the average sale price for each year of the last 5 years. Once I've done that, then I'm going to give you my prediction for 2019. So let's get started. Let's have a look at some of these numbers. Go to 2014, which by the way was a great year in real estate. We did 92,867 sales. Now, it was a very good year until 2015, because what happened? We went to 101,299 sales, which was an increase of 9%, which was the biggest year in the Toronto Real Estate Board until 2016. Then we went to 113,133 sales, which was an increase of 12%. Now, then the market started to slide and our number of sales started to go down. So in 2017, you can see we did 92,394 sales, which was a decrease of 18%. And then again, we're down in 2018, down to 77,426, which was a decrease of 16%. Now, let's just put that number into perspective. If we look at 2017, you can see it was very similar to 2014, which I consider that a very decent market. Yeah, 15 and 16 were absolutely out of control. But the thing was, is we did 14,968 less sales in 2018 than we did in 17. Now here's what's really interesting. There's two ends to every sale. There's a buyer end and the seller end. So from a real estate sales standpoint, if you think about that, you double that 14,968 or 15,000, we had 30,000 less sales, I should say ends, available in 2018. That's a pretty dramatic change, I think you would all agree. So what happened with prices? 2014, the average price was $566,000, went up by 10%, 2015 to 22. 16, I went up 17% to 729. These are big numbers, everybody. And then even in 17, when our sales went down a little bit, prices still went up by 13% to 822, because we were still in a seller's market, so prices were still rising. And then the first year in a long time that we've seen prices actually go down was in 2018. You can see it dropped by 4% down to $787,000. So that gives you an idea what the numbers look like. But what's my prediction for 2019? Well, let's just look back a little bit and let's talk about what has been influencing the market. We know we had the foreign buyer tax, okay? We also know that since the summer of 2017, we've had 5 rate increases. The Bank of Canada have raised the rates 5 times, which is 1.25%, a total that has gone up at a quarter point each time. We also know, beginning of 2018, what happened? Stress testing on conventional mortgages, you had to qualify for 2 percentage points higher. So what happened was we had so many things influencing the market, one after another, and it just kept coming, and I think it was too much, too fast. And what ended up happening was the market started to weaken, the sales went down in 17 and 18. So then what's going to happen in 19? Well, we have a federal election coming up this fall. Now, what would the federal government want in an election year? They want things relatively stable, even better than good, you know what I mean? But they don't want to see things going down. They don't want to see, maybe the economic engine is starting to slow down. That's not what they want to see. So they're going to do their best to stabilize the market. Not that they fully control it, but they're going to do their best. Not only that, I don't think we're going to see rate increases. And if we do see a rate increase, I'm going to say we might have 1 rate increase this year, by a quarter of a point. So what's going to happen is I think we're going to have less, influence in the marketplace. So then what's 2019 going to look like? Probably much like 2018. We'll probably come in at, who knows for sure, around 80,000 sales. I'm going to say between 75 and 85,000 sales. That's probably what we're going to see. So you look at that and you say, we're going to have more of the same, which means we've got a smaller pie. You got to capture a bigger piece of that pie. So what you want to do is you need to be developing your skills. Make sure your listings are priced right. Make sure your listings show really well. Incentivize other agents to try to get your listing sold, right? Maybe offer them a higher commission. You're going to have to be a better negotiator when working with buyers. These are just the things you're going to have to do. But if we look at high-end detached, probably going to weaken in price. We look at low-end detached, probably going to be, maybe strengthen just a little bit, or maybe no price movement at all. If we look at condos, we're probably going to see condos start to move more toward a balanced market, because last year they were still in a seller's market. So we're going to see some adjustments going on this year, but at the end of the day, here's what you got to remember. The market does not have to determine your income. You determine your income. Change what it is you're doing so you can produce better results. Anyway, remember everybody, it's a beautiful life. Make it count.